Amber, can you hear me?
I sure can.
Fantastic. Well, I am all ready to go so we can start on time.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And then, yeah, I'll start right at 2, assuming we get enough people into the meeting here. And then if you'll just throw up those how to participate slides, that would be great.
Got it.
Karina, do you prefer that I do roll call at the beginning or you? Either one is fine with me.
It is entirely up to you. Whatever you want me to do, I will do it.
All right, I'll let you do roll call. That then you can have it in as, yeah, why don't you do roll call today?
Sounds great. I got it.
Thank you.
Oh, Amber.
Hi, David. How are you?
Keep smiling. It's spring.
I know it's so beautiful out. It's just sunny. I'm looking at it. I'm not involved with it, but it still makes me happy.
It's just amazing to watch the people come out of the woods with the nice weather. And I think I counted almost 50 people at the skate park 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
Alone.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, I have to say that even though I'm a skier, I was not very happy to see the snow in my backyard the other morning. I was really having a hard time getting my game face on for that one.
Yeah, I can appreciate that. We're already getting complaints about how come the fields aren't open. So
Oh, yeah, we're all just excited. We've had a hard last, year plus.
yeah, no doubt.
Okay, so it's 2:00, but I don't think we have a quorum yet. 1, 2. So we have 6, we need 7, is that correct? Who else is out there that can answer that? Stacy, is that correct? We need, Julie, do you know, anyone know the answer to that?
I think we have
Oh,
a quorum at 6.
We do now. Gwen's here. Gwen's here anyway. Okay. Thank you. All right, great. So I am going to call the Parks and Conservation Committee together for March 31st. And as you can see, we are continuing to meet remotely. We should have that, let me see, up on the screen, how to participate. If you are calling in to participate by phone, you can press *9 in order, hold on, I'm having a hard time getting back into the meeting here. Where did my meeting go? Sorry. Sorry, everyone. All right, there you are. Okay. *9 to raise and to lower your hand. You could also feel free to leave the full council a voicemail at 406-552-6012 or an email at council@ci.missoula.mt.us. And we'd be happy to hear from you. We do not have any public here, but Karina, if you want to go ahead and do roll call and start us off.
Okay. Anderson?
Present.
Present. Becerra? Don't see her. Contos? John,
Sure.
I see. There you are.
Thanks.
Heather Harp? Don't see her. Jordan Hess? Don't see him. Gwen Jones?
Here.
Julie Merritt?
Present.
Jesse Ramos?
Present.
Amber Sherrill?
Present.
Sandra Vaseka? Don't see her. Brian Von Lossberg?
Here.
Heidi West?
Here.
Wonderful.
Great, thanks. So we have minutes from March 10th to approve. If there are any changes to those minutes, please raise your hand. Seeing no hands raised, those will stand approved. We do not have any public here today, so there will be no public comment. So I'm going to go to our first agenda item, which is the reappointment to the cemetery board. Would anyone like to make a comment on that or make a motion? Julie,
I will go ahead and make the recommended motion.
that would be great. Again, there's no public. If anyone else would like to make a comment or have any questions, please raise your hand. And I do not see any. So, Brian.
Sorry. I just wanted to recognize Pat's prior service. Really fortunate to have him engaged and grateful for his continued interest. So thank you.
Great, thanks for that. And, you know, I'm continually surprised and appreciated by the level of engagement that we have in this community and by all the volunteers on all of our committees. So I second that. Karina, go ahead and take a roll call on, or take a vote on this, please.
No problem. And I saw that Mirtha joined, so I got her. Did anybody else sneak in? I don't think so. Okay. All right, here we go. Anderson?
Yes.
Anderson votes yes. Becerra?
Yes.
Lucero votes yes. Contos?
Yes.
Contos votes yes. Jones?
Yes.
Jones votes yes. Merritt?
Yes.
Merritt votes yes. Ramos?
Yes.
Ramos votes yes. Cheryl?
Yes.
Cheryl votes yes. Von Lossberg?
Yes.
Von Lossberg votes yes. West?
Yes.
West votes yes. And that will be 9 yeses.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. And our second item is David Selvage is here from Parks and Rec to present, and it is referral for Invermere Parklands Agreement. David, you want to take it over?
Thank you so much, members of council. Greetings. I'm going to share my screen. Invermere is a subdivision of about approximately a little over 100 lots, just located off of Upper Miller Creek Road. It is a 20-year-old subdivision. That subdivision provided for a number of dedications of parklands, most of which have gone to Missoula County. 2 parcels have been deeded to the city, one in a pocket park area and another landscape buffer across the frontage. This park, the subdivision's conditions provided that these properties could be maintained by a public agency or could be maintained in another manner. Since these properties were not identified as part of their comprehensive Parks and Recreation open space plan, it was determined that they would be best if this property was maintained by the homeowners association, given the size, location, access challenges and the like. We have negotiated in good faith with Missoula County and the HOA to provide for the kind of parklands that the existing residents want, having gone through a full master plan process that has been approved by both the city and county park boards. We have recently approved a complete development improvements agreement for the subdivision that includes the park development. I hear fairly regularly from citizens up there that they cannot wait for this park to be built. During the master planning process, we talked extensively about maintaining this through the HOA. Here's a copy of the adopted master plan. Provides for about I think around 40,000 square feet of irrigated turf grass area. Predominantly it's dryland grasses around the site. This will be their primary park in this neighborhood, a little plaza area and connecting walking paths. We prepared for them an estimated cost of what we believe their annual maintenance cost would be, and gave them a calendar of what maintenance looks like, including snow removal on all sidewalks. At the county's request, we incorporated snow removal, snow maintenance on county sidewalks as well. And that is going to be an annual cost of just under $13,000, if I recall correctly. The county county commissioners have acted on this and approved this agreement pending approval by city council. The homeowners association is still under the control of the developer, and the developer has signed on behalf of the HOA. So this is the last step to complete this process. The plat was approved by county with bonding and stuff like that. Subsequent, this is the last piece to be completed. The provisions for this, try to rotate this around here. If anybody needs to know what's included, it's pretty much just like any other public park, which is to care for it, keep it clean and green. make sure that snow is taken care of. There are some special unique components up here for weed control and the like. I am happy to answer any questions that I can, or continue on.
Gosh darn it, I was muted, wasn't I? Okay, I do have a question, or do have a question lining up. So Stacy, go ahead.
Thanks so much, Madam Chair. So thanks for bringing this forward to us, David. And I realize that this agreement is for the park once it's completed. But, you know, you and I've talked, and I've talked with many of the neighbors, and there is still significant concern that this park is actually going to get built, because right now it's still a dust pile. And per the planning for building of the park, they were supposed to have completed the grading by April 1st, which is tomorrow, and nothing has happened on this site. So this plan just doesn't have any components to it that actually specify or requires a timeline. This is just all, once the park is completed, this deals with the maintenance going forward, correct?
Yes, sorry about the phone here.
That's okay.
Yes.
Can you speak to my other concern about the timeline?
Yes, very little construction's happening anywhere. Ground just thawed. Their timeline was optimistic to help get the greatest assurance that this park will be built. A improvements guarantee is being held by engineering, development services engineering, and that is well in excess of $200,000 just for the park and the improvements. I have arranged with both Troy Monroe and Juniper Davis at the county to do the inspections through that process to make sure everything meets standards.
Okay, may I have a follow-up?
Yes.
Okay, this is one of the things I hear the most of from my constituents in the ward, is this particular park and this subdivision. So I guess the other question that I've been asked to bring forward on behalf of the folks who live there is several currently on this property that's barren, is several large ponderosa pines that it is unclear from within the park plan if those trees, if that overlaps, and if there's any sort of plans to keep those trees.
Through the master plan, which I've shown up on the screen, we do plan to retain quite a few of the mature cottonwoods. I am uncertain that we will be able to retain them all based on the grading that's required to accomplish this. But we can go through that process. I theoretically should get notice of starting to grade and be able to go on site and tag all these trees that need to be retained.
And may I have a follow-up?
Yeah, go ahead.
So who has is it basically if you tag it, they're required to save it? And so you're the one with the full discretion on which trees get saved?
Well, I'll have to consult with their engineer and whoever their contractor is to make sure that we're not in conflict with the approved grading plan. Okay. Any trees that are in conflict with the grading plan, we'll either have to find a way to conserve them and stay out of their drip zone, or we'll have to make the decision to remove those trees.
Okay, great. I'm sorry, but may I have another follow-up, Madam Chair?
You may, and if anyone else knows that they have questions, if you could queue up, and this is your district and your ward, and I want to make sure you get your questions answered. Go ahead.
Thanks so much. So back to the cost of the homeowners association, I do think it's an interesting practice that we have that currently the homeowners association is solely controlled by the developer, and yet the homeowners who live there don't have a say in what is being sort of agreed upon between the homeowners association and the city and the county. And so the costs that you have put forth of $13,000 for maintenance, do you know roughly what that's going to be broken out to for homeowners association fees? It's one of the questions that I've been asked multiple times, because the people who actually live there are not at the table negotiating this. It's the developer who then will, can basically sign off on whatever he wants because he's not there living there and paying the homeowners the fees.
So at 100 lots, that would be $130,000 per year per lot. And I believe it's more like 112 lots at full build out. The last phase has been filed. I can see that, but I haven't seen the lotting happen on the Missoula County Property Information site yet. So it should be under $130,000 or $130 per year added HOA fees. And that'll cover all of the deeded parklands in this development.
Okay.
Thank you. I do have some people queuing up. I was very worried when you said 130,000. So Mirta, go ahead.
Thank you. I just wanted to follow up on that question about the tree removal per engineering work that needs to happen on the site. Is there a plan for planting new trees so that you provide for good coverage? And is that something that we normally do when you lose some trees? Or and then I guess, another question that I had was for the agreement, do we have all the answers to all these questions before we go ahead with this agreement? Or do we then have to amend this agreement if something comes up as the park develops? It just seems like maybe I'm completely wrong, so I would love your take on this. Does it seem premature to be having an agreement when we don't really know what the park looks like or will look like, or has that been firmed up already?
I think I've got 3 questions in there. Give me a second here. So, so this area that's shown here, these trees right here, can you see that? Can you see my cursor? Those are quite large and mature. Those are reflected in the master plan to be conserved. These trees up here are reflected in the master plan and should be conserved, but there have been some new ones growing in here. These trees down in this area here are unlikely to be conserved because they piled all their excess burden here and now they have to regrade that area. If there are additional trees in this alignment that have sprouted up, and we will try to preserve those where they can be, where the spacing is good and we don't see diseased trees or anything like that. So that's one of the first steps to do, is to go out on site, identify the trees to be retained and protected prior to the start of grading. And we've emphasized to the project engineer that this is a city and county public park, so they have to comply with all these standards. We hope that they'll remember that and keep us in the loop on all the critical steps. So we think we have a good handle on that. We think that the developer's engineer is very well aware of what we want to see this happen with tree protections. There is nothing that would prohibit the city, the county, or the HOA from moving forward to do enhancements consistent with the park master plan. We would simply give them a process to go through, city or county park board probably, to make additional improvements if they're substantial and will increase their costs. If they're not substantive, we can probably just move forward to approve them, whether it's city or county. So I feel like the agreement itself is sound. It covers all of the parklands and it reflects what the master plan could provide in the future, which is a plaza area, shelter, some natural area improvements, like tree plantings and things like that.
Thanks.
Thanks. Julie?
Thanks, David. I appreciate your optimism that the developer knows what the city and the county want to see here, but I am a little skeptical that, because I guess the concern with the trees is once they're gone, they're gone. I don't know how old those mature ponderosas are, but they're obviously pretty old. I have one somewhat unrelated question to that. The shape of that park that you're showing us on the screen right now doesn't match the shape of the parcel that's reflected in the Missoula property information system right now. There's that little triangle. Yeah, are they going to redraw a lot line in order to accommodate that? Or has
this shape here was captured from the preliminary plat that was approved about 2 weeks ago. And I know that the preliminary plat was approved. It just hasn't been brought into the property information system yet.
Okay, thanks. I appreciate that.
Great, thanks. I don't see any other hands up. And there is no one in the public, but we still need a motion on this.
I'd be happy to make the recommended motion, Amber.
Thank you, Julie. And again, there is no public comment. So Karina, if you would, thank you, David. If you would go ahead and take a roll call vote, that would be great.
Anderson?
Yes.
Anderson votes yes. Becerra?
Yes.
Becerra votes yes. Contos?
Yes.
Contos votes yes. Jones?
Yes.
Jones votes yes. Merritt?
Yes.
Merritt votes yes. Ramos?
Yes.
Ramos votes yes. Cheryl?
Yes.
Cheryl votes yes. Von Lossberg?
Yes.
Von Lossberg votes yes. West?
Yes.
West votes yes. So that is 9 yeses and no nos.
Okay, great. Thank you, David. And I appreciate all the questions. And Stacy, I appreciate your concerns for your neighborhood. So that's it. We are all done. So we will be adjourned.
Thank you much.
Bye-bye.